Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. I know it's been a very long time. Just thought I would do a little video, had a minute, and thought I would share with you movies that everyone loves to hate, but I don't. And I don't know, I felt a desire to do this because for some reason in the movie community lately, everyone has just been on this thing about jumping on people and attacking people if they like something that they don't, which is insane. Everyone likes things for their own reasons, and everyone dislikes things for their own reasons. They're movies. They're subjective. Everyone doesn't find the same thing beautiful. Everyone doesn't find the same thing funny. Everyone doesn't find the same thing exciting or interesting. So people are not gonna all like the same things. I mean, for instance, right? Lord of the Rings, a phenomenal movie trilogy. One of my favorites. I was a fan of the novel beforehand, but there are people who do not like Lord of the Rings, right? I mean, it's the same with Harry Potter, same with Star Wars. Yes, there are people that do not like Star Wars movies or Star Trek movies. So just because someone doesn't like something that the masses may like or that you like, makes no sense to attack someone for dislike. And I don't care. I don't back down, and I have no shame in sharing what I like that others don't, because ultimately it doesn't matter. It's not your collection, and I just don't care. So I am going to share with you the movies in my collection that I like or love, but that others hate. So in no particular order, because I just pulled them out. The first one is Act of Valor. And I really like this movie. And the reason why I think a lot of people who have panned this movie is because they're like, oh, some of the acting was so bad, this, that, and the other. And I don't think people are aware that this movie is based on real missions of Navy SEALs. And the actors aren't actors. They are real Navy SEALs in this movie portraying real Navy SEALs. So I think they did a good job, all things considered. And what I love about it is the authenticity. You know, they all said they wouldn't be a part of this film unless it was done right. And they were consultants. And so you probably get one of the most authentic war type movies or military movies than we've ever gotten. And I love it. I love it for that fact. And you know what you're seeing are real people. They're not actors who went to, this little mini boot camp for a month or something. These guys didn't have to train. These guys didn't have to prep. These guys, all they had to do was throw them in, give them the strip. I love it. I love it. So next up is Star Wars 3 Revenge of the Sith. Now, I am a fan of the Star Wars, the original trilogy. I was not a fan of the prequel trilogy. This is the only one I liked and the only one I owned. I liked it up until the very last moment when Vader does that pathetic, what was that? Scream, groan of agony. I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but it just was so cheesy. It just came out really bad. They really should have refilmed that, done it a different way. I enjoy this. It's a beautiful film. It's stunning, and really, I enjoy this film. Yeah, still not on Blu-ray because I'm not in a rush, but yeah, I like it. Okay, next up is Hackers. This is an oldie but goodie. This is Angelina Jolie's first film. I love this movie. This movie is so much damn fun. No, it's not timely, obviously, because technology has changed by leaps and bounds, obviously, but hello, once a movie gets past a certain age, you already know that. So if you look at an older movie and judge it on that, it's idiotic. I'm sorry, it just is. Just look at the movie and enjoy it for what it is. I love the when you watch it, just looking back to see where technology was at this time. And when this movie came out, this was the highest of technology at the time that was reflected in this movie. This movie is just fun. I watched it so many times, and still, no matter how many times I watch it, I just enjoy it. It's just a good time. I loved the characters. Next up, you may see changes in the position because I'm just pausing it to grab a movie. I'm not doing any editing. So next up is Spectre 007. Let it focus. I'm a Bond film fan, but and I like Daniel Craig. I like all, pretty much all his movies, but I like Spectre. A lot of people dogged it. I don't think people have fully appreciated the storyline and what was supposed to happen with it. And I don't know, do people realize that initially this was supposed to be Daniel Craig's last film as James Bond, which is the underlying theme of this, him being tired of everything he has to do and wanting to have a stable life and wanting to fall in love and settle down, and should he resign or shouldn't he, and then along with everything else going in the storyline, I loved it for that reason. And then I loved it because when I saw it at the theater, and I'm saying to myself, I think that was an excellent way for Daniel Craig to go out, because at the time that was supposed to be his last film as James Bond. But now, since then, I do believe that he has signed a new contract to do at least a couple more movies, so I like it. Next up, just to preface this by saying, anyone who knows me knows that I am an Alien franchise fan. My all-time favorite one is Alien, and then the second one is Aliens. But I do like this movie. I like Alien Resurrection. I don't care what people say. I've done a In My View video on this. If you really want to hear all of my thoughts and reasons why I like this movie, and all of my revelations about the film, check that out so you can get a more in-depth understanding of why I like this film so much. And I do. That's all I'm going to say on that. Next. Again, they're not in any particular order. They were just near each other. Alien versus Predator. Yes, I like this movie. And every time I watch it, I like it even more. And on this edition, in the cutscenes, you see some of the stuff that they cut out that are put back into this final version. I really think expanded on the film. And I just enjoy it. I think it's fun. I like the whole concept of it. I like the whole historical background of this, going back to ancient times. I seriously just do not understand the problem. I don't know if it's because people were expecting like a gazillion xenomorphs and a gazillion predators on screen having an all-out battle or something. I don't know what people were expecting or why they don't like it. I enjoy it a lot. So I love it. Yes, I do. Next up, sorry, the lighting is changing. It's getting darker outside, so I'm not changing anything. So hopefully you can see. Tomb Raider. Love this movie. Okay. To know me is to know I'm a big gamer. I've been a gamer all my life. Tomb Raider games I am a huge fan of. And I thought Angelina Jolie was great as Lara Croft. To me, she will always be Lara Croft. And for those who wanted to dog the movie, did you ever play the games? Because if you really pay attention to the movie, they did such a good job of pulling stuff from almost every game. I'm trying to think up to where, and have put it in this film. So if you ever played all of the games or enough of the games, watch it again and you will see that this film is a compilation of things from all of the games, and I think they did a great job. I love seeing everything come to life from the video games. I love this movie. I don't get the big deal of why people dog it, but whatever. This one is going to probably surprise a lot of people. One of my all-time favorite films is Indiana Jones, and I do have all of the movies. Yes, I do have all of the movies, including Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. My gosh, I don't think there'd been a controversy like this in a long time until this movie came out, including a lot of my friends who hate it. That's not Indiana Jones and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I enjoyed the film, and I have to say, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, saw it at the theater. But every time I've seen it since then, I've liked it more and more. And right now, I can't get into detail why, because I'm not going to, but I like it. I enjoy it. It's different. It's a little different, but all things are not going to stay the same, and nor should they. I enjoy this movie, but that's me. Okay, I know I can hear a lot of gasp in the background on this one, and I don't care. Judge Dredd. Yes, I have the remake Dredd, if you want to call it. It's not really a remake, but a reboot, Dredd. But yes, I like this movie. People sometimes are so damn serious. Just too serious about things sometimes. Now, let me preface this by saying, as a disclaimer, I was not a fan of the comics. I never read the Judge Dredd comics, so I don't base it on that. I base this as a standalone movie, and I enjoyed it. I know one of the big bitches that a lot of people have, and they came from the fans of the comics, was that Sylvester Stallone took off his helmet. They're like, Judge Dredd never takes off his helmet. His ego got in the way. Okay, from their point of view, I can see that. But since I don't have that to stand on, all I know is I enjoy the movie. It's just a lighthearted, comedic, adventure comic book style movie. It's like an 80s flair, and it's just fun. People just take things so seriously. But whatever. Okay, next up is to know that back in the day, I also collected comic books. When I was growing up, I had a massive comic book collection. I'm a Marvel girl, but I mainly collected X-Men comics. Loved them like crazy. Loved the X-Men comics. And Teen Titan and Thor. Those were the ones that I read and collected. But I love the X-Men films. And this is another one that I love that people tend to hate. And my friends cannot understand X-Men The Last Stand. Well, guess what? I can't understand why people hate it so much. I can't understand it. I just don't. And every time I ask people, nobody can really give me a detailed reason why they don't like this movie. All I just hear is, I don't like it. They messed it up. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But people can't ever give me a detailed reason. And I'm not trying to get into an argument or fight with anybody. If you want to tell me why, tell me why. Just be polite about it. But I enjoy this movie a lot. There is, I don't know. I don't want to get into that right now. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. And I like it more every time I see it. So there you go. Okay. Jaws is one of my all-time favorite films, period, ever. And I love Jaws too. I think this movie is so underrated. I love this damn movie. Totally gets a bum rap. It's not hated, but it does not get, I think, the appreciation or respect it deserves. I think this is a very good sequel. Jaws and Jaws 2 are the only ones that I own, and I love this sequel. Y'all people are hard, man. Okay, next up. Queen of the Dam. I like this movie, and I like it more every time I see it. I really like this movie. And I think about it, the last time I watched it, I was like, I really like this movie, especially the third act. I just like this movie. I'd never read the novel. I mean, back in the day, I read Anne Rice's novels. And I think the Lestat series, I stopped at... was it called Vampire Lestat or something like that? But I never read Queen of the Dam, so I can't judge it based on the novel. I just know I enjoy this movie, and I think Alia, and if I do recall, a long time ago, she said her name was actually pronounced Alia, but people say Aaliyah. But I think she was wonderful. I think she was wonderful as the queen. Next up. Okay, this is I don't really consider this a remake because this movie isn't like the original at all. And I love the original with Vincent Price, and I own that one, but I do enjoy this film. Surprisingly, House of Wax, if it'll focus. The sun is going down. There you go. I enjoy this. Okay, can't say it. When this came out at this point, when this came out, I was so beyond sick of Paris Hilton. I was like, I wish she would go away, But I have to say, she has one of the best scenes in this movie. She did a good job. I enjoyed this film. It was pretty good, I have to say. I enjoyed it for what it is. Next up. Okay, here's the last one. I'm pretty sure I probably left some out, but I just pulled these real quick. This is one of my favorite. This movie is like crack for me, and I cannot explain it. I can watch it over and over and over and have. I just love this movie. I don't know why. But the Amityville Horror. Now, you would say maybe, people don't hate this movie, but, a lot of people, put this movie down. I can't believe you like Amityville Horror. Blah, blah, blah. It's so boring, dude. No. I love this movie. Love this movie. So anyway, there you go. And I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope everyone's been well. And I'll see you around. Bye. Okay, it's not over yet. I told you I was going to forget something. Here are 3 more I remembered soon as I finished recording. I had to turn on the light because the sun is going down. But anyway, here's a big one. Prometheus. I have loved this movie from the minute I saw it the very first time in the theaters when it came out. I have always loved this movie. I love it more and more after every viewing, and I've seen it too many times to count now. And I have always continuously defended this movie and explained this movie and got people to understand it. And then when they got it, or once they got rid of their preconceptions and their expectations of what they wanted the movie to be, once they let that stuff go and just watch the movie for what it is, I've noticed more and more people that I've come across like it now or appreciate it more, now than they did before. Wow, I am so in love with this movie. Can't even tell you. Okay, so the next one is Sucker Punch. I tell you, this is another one. The more I watch it, the more I like it. And this is another example of people not getting the movie. This movie is not what you think it is at face value. This movie, if you pay attention to it, and maybe some people need to watch it again, what you see is, it's like those Russian dolls. I can't think of what they're called, but it's like a doll and a doll and a doll and a doll. That's what this movie is. It's about a girl who is trying to deal with trauma and deal with what's getting ready to happen to her after she was basically thrown into an insane asylum to get rid of. And so what you're seeing is her mind trying to cope. So she creates an alternate reality where she has more control, where she has more power, where she's trying to survive all the things that she's been going through and what could possibly happen to her. And if you pay attention to the movie, the real people, the people in her real life are reflected as alternate personalities in her mind, and you see them reflected. For instance, like, if I can remember now, like her stepfather, who was evil, like he either molested them or he tried to, and he tried to take their inheritance and blah, blah, blah. In her alternate reality, in her mind, he is this, like this evil priest or something. Get it? A father. See, it's stuff like that. It's deep. If you watch it again and pay attention, you will understand what she's trying to say, what Baby Doll is trying to say, what she's trying to survive. It's so long and drawn out. I know some people who know I love this have asked me to do an in my view video, and I might do that one day to really, really get in full detail and to get people to understand the depth of this movie. This movie has so much depth. It's not just about pretty women in scantily clad clothing. It's not just about action and violence. This movie really has a lot of layers and depth to it, and it's totally underappreciated. On that note, okay, hopefully this is the last one and I didn't forget anything else, but Predators. Man, I love this movie. Oh my God, people, I just don't think they got it. I don't think people could get past Adrian Brody. Now, let me tell you. In the beginning, when they first showed the first trailer and I saw him, I did the same thing. Ugh, are you kidding me? Adrian Brody, really? Yeah, I was one of you. I totally agreed. I was like, oh my gosh, he's so miscast. But I saw it, and you know what? Dang, give dude credit where credit's due. I didn't think he was bad. I like the movie. I enjoy the movie. I like it more and more every time I watch it. I like the moments where they pay homage to the original. I like that they expand more on the predators. With every predator movie, we learn more and more about the predators, and this one did the same thing. I thought it was very well done. We learned a lot of that through Lawrence Fishburne's character. So I enjoy this movie. I know a lot of people hate. I just do not care. Everybody is so hard on this movie. It does not deserve it. I think that he did something different. I like the fact that they were the opening of this movie is one of the best openings I've ever seen in an action movie. I freaking love it when they're free falling. It is just, I love this movie, and I don't care. I do not care, people. And yes, for those who do not know me, I am a huge Predator fan, and the original classic Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of my all-time favorite films. Have seen that too many times to count, and I love this movie. There you go. Now I'm done for real, and thank you for watching. Appreciate any comments that you leave, and hopefully they will be polite and respectful. I appreciate everyone's views, whether they are the same or different from mine, as it should be. It creates good conversation and good debate, and that's it. Take care, y'all. Bye.